set feet. Bang!
What game is this? This is incredible.
Hook. Delightful. Wow.
Too strong. Now Melbourne goes, and Melbourne gets the bucket. Circus basketball to roof.
Cole! Yes!
Welcome to the State Basketball Centre, the home of the Southside Flyers. Tonight, the Flyers, buoyed by their first win of the season, take on the UC Caps, who are still hunting for that elusive breakthrough victory. Fans are filling the stands, the energy is electric, and the stage is set for this clash between two teams who are looking to find a little bit of rhythm here early in the season. I'm Todd Morris, your host this afternoon, and I'm thrilled to be joined by special commentator Zoe Carr, five-time gold medalist at the Australia Junior Championships, 152 WNBL games. Zoe brings unparalleled depth of knowledge and insights. Zoe, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here and to watch the last game of this round between these two very different teams.
Very different teams indeed. I can't wait to break this one down. Before we do, let's take a look at round three. It's been an amazing round of WNBL basketball. Bendigo started us off strong, convincing win against the Flames. Then it was a heartbreaking loss for the Caps at home against the highly touted Perth outfit. We'll break that one down in a moment. Geelong, they did notch up another victory in their maiden season in overtime as well. While it was a top-of-the-table clash, Bendigo remained undefeated, getting a monster win over Townsville Fire. Can someone catch the spirit, Zoe?
It's going to be difficult, but I think they can. But teams will need everything to go right because their scoring power is just unparalleled.
Well, the Flyers are aiming to build on last week with their win. Getting another win over the Caps here would be great for them. Let's head courtside as Megan Huswaite spoke to Christy Harrower earlier.
Well, Christy, first win as a WNBL head coach last round. It comes 33 years after your first as a player. It must have been exciting to get it on the board.
Yeah, it was, and I think, it takes a little bit of pressure off myself, but also to keep, the belief and the confidence within the group. And, it's a completely new group, just like a lot of teams in the league, but for us to get that win, it was really important, and especially on our home floor.
On the home floor again today, and the chance to build on some momentum and the learnings within this program.
Yeah, it is. Look, Canberra, no easy beats, that's for sure. They showed on Wednesday night against Perth that they nearly won that game, and Maylee shot it on the buzzer. But, it's a young group there, and the thing is with young players these days, they just come out and play and there's no fear. So we've got to make sure we respect them and come out and do what we do well and try and get another win today on our home floor.
Looking forward to seeing you and the team in action. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, last week it was a physical and hard-fought win of the season for the Flyers, and they don't come any tougher than Maddie Rocci, taking a nasty knock with a huge split to the eye, which required stitches after the game. She scored 15 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and I reckon Maddie Rocci with her headband is an absolute vibe.
Yeah, I'd like to see it continue even after the stitches have healed, but this is just vintage Maddie Rocci, putting her body on the line constantly, and then to be able to come back on the floor and lead her team to their first win of the season was just incredible.
They don't get none tougher than Maddie Rocci, the girl from Werribee, as we see her knocking down a big triple from beyond the arc. But now it's time. Let's take a look at these Caps. They've been an exciting watch already this season. We know they're young, they're vibrant, and they can just score at will. However, that just didn't get them over the line against Perth. It was a heartbreaking loss by 2 points only 3 days ago. Now, they are led by one of the most brightest young stars and talents in Jade Melbourne, who is just going from strength to strength at the moment, averaging 20.3 points per game this season, only 16 points per game last year. Her scoring is just getting better and better.
It is, but I think we're going to see some more facilitating from Jade as now more of the other players in the team are starting to step up offensively, but they have to get it done at the defensive end. They've got to lock down their teams because they are putting enough points on the board, but they've got to get those stops.
Jade Melbourne's going to be a key to victory tonight for them, isn't she, Zoe?
She is, and you just look at the different ways she's able to score, the way she keeps the team together, her leadership, and then obviously defensively getting in lanes and coming up with steals. So she's going to be massive for them, and she's going to lead this group.
Let's go back courtside with Megan Huswaite as we caught up with Paul Goris a little earlier today.
Goz, road trips present the opportunity to gel as a team, and you had a 7-hour delay yesterday, so a bit more gelling. Could that be a positive today?
Yeah, I think so. It's like those sort of things bring groups together, and we got to know each other a little bit more during the 7 hours at the airport, but, you know, those things happen, and we've just got to go out there and make it play today.
Your best performance of the season on Thursday night, falling just short of the Perth Lynx, and another great opportunity and challenge today.
Yeah, lots of positives that we take from Perth, as I still think that we should have been able to close out that game ourselves, but Southside have got some great talent in their group, and I think that, you know, after Thursday night, we're trending in a positive way.
How positive was it to be able to put 90 points on the board and get one of your big recruits in Chantal Horvat into the game offensively?
Yeah, I'm still like we're a leaky boat at the defensive end, giving up 100, 190, so that's not great, but I think offensively we certainly had more contributors with Horvat. Nards had a great game, and if we get Charlie to finish in around the rim, I think that'll help us even more.
Well, hopefully a good performance at both ends of the court today. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, let's hope these Caps don't spend too long in that leaky boat. But for tonight, it's all eyes are on Naj Poch. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists against Perth. We're looking for a big one from her.
Yeah, she took another step up offensively, in particular in the game against the Lynx. She really attacked it rather than waiting for it to come to her. And that's what the Caps need from her. They need her to be aggressive, use her athleticism, and try and get heat on the rim as often as possible.
And of course, Poch playing against her old team. You may have done that before, Zoe. How does that feel?
It's actually a bit exciting, you know, that you want to make sure that, you know, you've got some relationships that you want to just keep, and it's great to see them, but you also really want to beat them at the same time.
You certainly do. Well, the stage is set. The scene is cast. We're about to get this one underway at the State Basketball Centre. This should be a fantastic game. Both of these teams really hungry for some early rhythm in the season. Now, officials just making sure everything's in order. You can really feel the vibe. Starting lineups for both teams. For the Southside Flyers, Hillman, Cole, Rochi, Kunik and Ernst. And for the Caps, Horvath, Bombogi, Melbourne, Poch and Collier. The tip is away. It's going to be the Flyers with possession early. Kunik to Cole. Two best friends combining. Now Rochi, Hillman, Ernst. The ball has touched every hand of the Flyers on this offensive set. And we've got a foul early.
And it's a good first possession for the Flyers there, just getting, like you mentioned, getting the ball through hands, everyone getting touched so they can get settled, and then drawing a foul. So they're looking to execute early, which is great for them.
Rochi to inbound. Averaging 6 assists per game this season. Kunik from deep. That's a foul. Kunik will go to the line for 3 of them.
And a bit of a coach killer to foul a jump shooter. There's always the rule, just keep your hands out and stay clean. But Kunik is so difficult to guard because if you give her too much space, the shot goes. But if you close out too long, then she blows right by you. So it is a difficult task to try and get the ball out of her hands.
First points down for Kunik. And that first one. Good to get those nerves out of the way. Put over the line. It only was a 2. I got excited. Called it 3 shots. Unlike me to get excited. Here's Jade Melbourne down the floor like a chess master, staring at the chessboard for the first time. I look to swing it around. Almost there on the baseline cut. Jump ball early. Possession arrow will stay with the Caps.
And the Caps did a great job of clearing out any help underneath the basket to allow space for that back cut. Execution of the pass wasn't quite there, but the idea was definitely right.
Out to Collier, who's been great early in this season. Melbourne getting going from the outside. It's in, it's out. Offensive glass was tough. Hillman with a tough task. Now Ernst gets things moving. Cole. Ernst at the top. Loves it from there. That one didn't quite fall. Caps going back the other way. Poch. Into Collier. Taking on Hillman. The 2 imports. That one was short. Poch working hard. Rebound will go to Cole, who likes to push the floor. Almost picked off. Going to stay possession with the Flyers here. Shaky start by both teams, Zoe.
Yeah, and it seems to be, even though it hasn't been up and down, it's been at a frenetic pace. The ball's moving quickly, the players are moving quickly. and they're looking to really put pressure on each other. So a great finish there from Ernst going out the basket and playing above the defense.
Melbourne at the top. Into Poch. Collier down low. Going to work in the post. Underneath, fouled. Collier will go to the line for a couple.
I think Collier did a great job there with the seal. She created space for herself. I think if Chantel Horvath could just cut into that high post area and take her split line defender away so they can either look to get that pass in or look to play through the high-low, I think you'll start to see some real benefit out of those seals.
Collier averaging 9.7 points per game in only 3 games this season. A total of 29 points across the 3. He's been great on the boards as well. 25 rebounds over those 3 games. We've got Megan Huswaite down on the sideline. What have you got for us, Megan?
Well, going inside to Collier has been a real plan for the Caps because they haven't had that genuine post player to go inside to in the last couple of years. So it's been something Goris has been working on with the likes of Jade Melbourne and Nicole Munger.
As we see again there, the Caps look to go inside, this time with Poch. Rochi looking to find Cole. Pass just didn't quite go through. Off the foot, it'll be a foot violation. Great inside there for Megan Huswaite down on court side. Of course, Todd Morris joining you. Zoe Carr, 152 game player, great insights. Tried to find Ernst on that one. Caps away. This is a Jade Melbourne special finger roll.
And again, that just settles the Caps a little bit. You know, that's one of the things that the Flyers can't afford to have. You can't give the Caps anything. You've got to continue for a young team, continue to put the pressure on, because now you can see a little bit of momentum starting to roll their way. You never want to give that to young teams.
Here's Melbourne, almost double team, found Horvath. Was it foot over the line? I think so. It was a deep, deep 2. Great find by Melbourne on the double team. Rochi, Hellman, picked off again. The Flyers are in trouble on the offensive end. That's 2 fast break points now for the Caps.
Yeah, just a little too predictable. They're moving the ball, which is good, but they've got to do that work a little bit earlier to get open and also get that connection between them, the passer and the person they're passing the ball to.
Here's Ernst. Horvath, really close. I like that matchup. Ernst and Horvath to Hillman. What a thread. And Hillman scores underneath.
That's an incredible pass to be able to, as you said, thread that through and get the score, and a much needed score for the Flyers.
Here's Collier. Poch at the top. Bongi from deep. Doesn't quite hit. Both teams really feeling each other out here. Rochi thought about it. Ernst moves one over the top to Hellman. That one's parried away. Caps in transition again. Melbourne looking to go a little slower, then hard to the hoop. Left-handed finish. Great work, Jade Melbourne.
Beautiful change of pace. You know, sort of lulled the defense into thinking that she was about to set something up and then put the Jets on and got on the rim.
Kunik from deep, and it's good. The Flyers just starting to bring something back. Point the difference here. It looks to be a really close one early, and I think it's going to be a back and forth contest all day. Collier. Pass. Just a little soft. Cole got a hand to it. And they'll have to reset here. 8 seconds on the shot clock.
I think both teams are getting in the lanes and trying to really impose themselves defensively. So offense just needs to take a beat and start to look to try and explore the back cuts a little bit more to really get defense out of the lanes.
Melbourne forced to fire with 0.1 left on the shot clock. Kunik's going to go hard in transition. Finds Rochi. And that's in. Punishment on the other end.
Modern basketball at its best right there. Feet in the paint early, kick out, catch and shoot 3. And Maddie Rochi has done some incredible work on her 3-point shot over the last couple of seasons.
A little bit off ball here. We'll wipe that one away. With that last three, the Flyers the lead by 2. Watching on Melbourne. Now Hobart. Backdoor cut just wasn't quite there. Collier taking on Ernst. Great work underneath. Good defense as well. How Ernst just walled up there. Now Cole. Koenig in open air. And it's good.
And defensive transition has to become a priority now for the Caps. You cannot allow Alice Koenig that sort of space. And we saw it a few possessions before with Carly Ernst, who trailed into a catch-and-shoot 3. Now, she didn't make it, but as we know, Carly Ernst won't miss many of those. So they need to find their players quickly in their defensive transition to not allow this to happen.
You saw there, Koenig, you can't give her that much time. You can't give her that much space. But I like the attack from the Caps on the other end. Melbourne found Hobart pretty quickly, and here they find themselves at the line.
Yeah, moving on to the what's next of basketball is really important. Okay, we've made an error there. We've allowed Koenig to get a catch and shoot 3. The thing that really helps that is us scoring quickly at the other end.
All right, good on the first. The second one falls. Cole with space again. That one doesn't quite fall, to the dismay of the crowd.
It looks like the Caps went into a little half-court press there, but maybe not everyone was on the same page, so they got out of jail on that one.
Melbourne and Collier rolling to the basket. Offensive foul. Ernst planted the feet, and it's offensive. Great use of the feet there by Ernst just to set them.
And you can see, as Megan mentioned earlier, there is a real emphasis of trying to get the ball inside. Now, once the ball goes inside, there needs to be movement off the ball to allow Collier that space to be able to get to work. But there also needs to be that, you know, there's got to be a little bit more movement, maybe square up to the basket and try and shift Ernst before looking to go to the ring.
Megan Huswaite, I believe you got an update on the rotations?
Yeah, and just on that, Zoe, Collier has come to the bench with that first foul, and Ella Tofiano into the game for her, and also Nicole Munger for her first minutes of this game.
Hillman working hard, went to the glass, didn't quite fall. Thank you very much, Megan, down on the sidelines. Here's Melbourne. Hobart at the top, little hezzy, then go, hand off, Potch driving. Then went up with it in the end, great finish.
Yeah, and that's the aggression we were speaking about at the start of the broadcast that we need to see from Potch. The Caps need her to be big and have impact on the scoreboard, and to do that, she's got to be aggressive on the rim and use her athleticism.
Rochi over the top to Hillman. Hillman went up with it and scoring. Now it looks like they're trying to take advantage of that now with Collier off.
Definitely, and that high-low action, it's really hard to guard, so a really good look, solid look for the Flyers there.
Melbourne, Hobart, elbow, good. I'm liking this Caps lineup. They're just scoring quickly at the moment, and they're not worried if they're getting it wrong at the defensive end.
Yeah, but they need to be. They need to start really locking down defensively, because they're doing what they need to do offensively, and they're ticking that scoreboard over, which is great. They need to reward themselves by stringing a few stops together.
Watch you to Cole. Cole goes baseline. Finds Koenig. Great feed. Koenig looks to punish. Didn't. Flyers let off the hook here with an offensive rebound. They'll get a fresh 14. Ernst. No good on that one. Rochi. They'll reset again. Another offensive glass. Frustration here for the Caps at the defensive end. Rochi this time driving. Great finish.
And 2 tough offensive rebounds for the Caps, or defensive rebounds, I'm sorry, for the Caps to come up with as they land outside the key or outside the three-point line. But they cannot allow, as a young team, you cannot allow a more experienced team second, third, fourth opportunities. They've got to limit the Flyers to 1 shot only.
And Munger, unfortunately, on the rebound, committed the double dribble, forced the turnover. We're under 2 minutes here in the first term. It's the Flyers who lead by 3. They've been fantastic in their start with their shooting from the outside. They look to go low to Koenig. Foul committed by Bowyer.
And once again, a really good look from the Flyers, and you can tell that this is a Christy Harrower-led team, because as soon as there's any type of mismatch or anything that they can see that they can attack, they're wasting no time. So they drop Kunik into that post up to try and go at Bayer a little bit and use her size. Perfect, which is, again, just an absolute staple of Christy Harrower.
Cole, win baseline. We see Luffridge on for the first time in this one. Flyers go to their bench. Down low. Great work, Tofiano. Fouled. And the foul will be against Vaughan, who also came on.
And again, a great seal, a good pass to maybe increase the likelihood of that getting through. Maybe just an extra pass to get a better angle. But pumping the ball inside is working for the Caps right now.
Stay powered with Signet, Australia's favourite power bank brand. Keep your devices charged and never miss a moment. Visit signet.com to find your perfect power bank. Well, at the moment, it's been all power from the Southside Flyers. What can they do here? Luffridge driving. Kick out to Kunik. Luffridge all alone again. The Caps have got to find an assignment.
And definitely find her. Dallas Lockridge is big from the three-point line. And if you let her get off the chain, it'll be a long night for the Caps.
And the Caps answer back straight away, but we've got Megan Huswaite down on the sideline.
Michaela Vaughan coming off the bench for her third game. It might seem unusual for an import to be coming off the bench, but she has recovered from an ankle injury she suffered in January while playing in Europe. And the other thing is that Southside have had the prototype of the pinch hitter off the bench when it comes to imports. Just look at Jazz Dickey, who played such a pivotal part in their championship last season.
Thank you very much for your insight, Megan. So foul against the Caps. We're going to march 98 feet down the other end as they are in the penalty, and it'll be the Flyers at the line for two.
And the Caps just went to a little 2-3 zone on that last possession. Always a risk, because when you're giving up offensive boards and three-point shots, but it just took the Flyers out of their rhythm offensively, and they ended up with a shot that they probably weren't looking to get. So a good little change up there from the Caps.
Make sure you're following all the live stats of today's game in the free WNBL app. You can also check out game highlights, team and player info, and more. Download it from the App Store today, WNBL app. Well, closing moments of this first quarter. It's been an interesting one. Bombogi from outside, no good. Rebound comes, and one as Horvath puts it back. And we'll go to the line for the extra. Great possession there from the Caps.
And I think what they're moving to now, there's still an emphasis to put the ball inside, but they're moving it off a dribble handoff or an on-ball screen, and that's what I think will be really helpful for the Caps, because it also opens up Jade Melbourne, Monique Babongi to be able to come off the bounce and try and put heat on the rim themselves. So I think that's a really good shift from the Caps, that there's still that emphasis of putting the ball inside, but just getting it there a different way.
3-point play complete. 32 seconds on the clock here in the first quarter. Ernst. Kunik looking for some relief down low. Great defense there by Tofiano to close that one out for Hillman. Now the Caps get last possession. 10 seconds on the clock. Melbourne with ball in hand. Cole guarding her. Cole asleep. Melbourne from the elbow. Doesn't quite. Hover to close it out. No. And that one will be waved away as the Southside Flyers going into the quarter time break leading by 2. What a quarter that was, Zoe.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, you couldn't have asked for much more. Both teams putting on points at will. This game's going to come down to which team can lock down. So for the Caps, it's making sure they control the three-point line and don't allow second chance opportunities for the Flyers. And then for the Flyers, it's controlling their turnovers and what they're giving the Caps. So then if they limit that, then it can make it harder for them to be able to put points on the board.
What a first quarter it was. It's the Flyers 24, the Caps 22.
Why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, now hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bets. Cause we know where we at, we know we top tier. Cause all the hate that you bring, we know it stops here. I'm taking off like a rocket here and stopping here. It's strange how they cannot see the future, but see profit here. Wait up. We gon' always win.
Megan Husway caught up with Beck Cole a little earlier today. Let's have a listen into that one. Always great, Beck Cole.
Great to be back on your home court where you notched up your first win of the season last week and a good opportunity to make it 2 in a row today.
Exactly right. We wanted to get back here on our home floor, be in front of our fans. We finally got that double after. The chemistry is definitely building, and this is a really important game for us. So, you know, we went through our cultures and our values, what we want to stand for, and I really hope the girls and we come and bring that on the court tonight.
What is a focal point we can expect to see this afternoon?
Defense. We want to be known as like the intensity. We're putting you on the back foot. Like, it's hard for you to play us for 40 minutes. So we need to come out, we need to do that. They're a young, they're aggressive team. And so if you take them lightly, you know, it's not going to end well.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to this afternoon. Thanks for your time, Beck.
Thank you so much.
Gotta love that by Beck Cole. Always the character is Beck Cole. She mentioned there defense. Do you think they passed that assignment in that first quarter, Zoe?
I think a lot of what Southside, as we mentioned before the break, need to work on is taking care of the balls. I think defensively they're doing well, but offensively they need to take care of the ball.
Welcome back to the State Basketball Centre where Southside Flyers lead the UC Capitals by 2 points heading into the second quarter, and sisters are doing it for themselves today with Nadio Poch, the 20-year-old Canberra star in her third WNBL season, taking on younger sister Manuela, who at 18 is in her debut WNBL campaign with the Southside Flyers. And I was listening in to Southside coach Chrissy Harrower at the quarter-time break, and she said the two things that are killing us are defensive rebounds and turnovers. The Flyers with 5 errors in the opening term.
Melbourne to Collier, who's good.
And that's the exact start that the Caps would have wanted. Just a nice, easy score for them. Bring them back into line and now lock down on the D.
Here's Koenig. Rochi looking to drive. Found a little bit of space. Gave it to Luffridge, who drives herself. A rush look with it. Didn't quite work. Babongi away. Couldn't navigate the keyway. Decided on the kick out. Collier demanding it low in the post. Got double team there. How do you see that? Do you think that's the look for the Flyers? The double team down low? It's been obvious that they're going there.
Yeah, I think there was a mismatch there. So I think Rochi was on Collier in the post, and so that had to go because if the ball came inside there, it would have probably spelled trouble.
Tofiano down low to Collier. Ernst walling up. Collier forced. 2 on the shot clock. Travel. Great defense by Carly Ernst.
Yeah, just to keep her hands out, wall up, force Collier to try and score over those long arms.
You see Koenig leading the way with 10. At the moment, she's been brilliant. And Chantel Hobart for the Caps on 9. Rochi driving, kick out, Hellman. Hellman from distance, fouled. Will go to the line for 3.
again, one of those errors that you just can't afford to have. You had Hillman sort of in a bit of a hesitation on the catch, whether she should shoot it, whether she should make the extra pass. That's exactly what you want to do, but then to let her out of jail with a foul now allows her to go to the line and see the ball go through the net.
Nice Hillman, of course, of the Atlanta Dream, the import position here for the Southside Flyers. A little bit of Atlanta Dream DNA in this game as Poch was drafted to the Dream. And of course, Paul Gorry, as a coach at the Dream as well. Nice Hillman this season's got to be in the conversation for MVP with the start already. I know it's only early, but been brilliant. Melbourne. Bongi at the top, looking to go to work. Great pass down low, Topiano, baseline. Hillman read it really well. Rochi looking to go down low to Koenig, who's taking on Melbourne, the smaller opponent. Kick out back to Rochi, they move it to the corner. Luffridge doesn't quite fall. That's moving it quickly. Three-point look, no good. Topiano underneath. Working hard underneath. Megan down on the sideline. You've got something for us?
Well, Zoe, you're making waves in the coaching world, and it's wonderful to see one of your former luminaries, Dee Butler, down here assistant coaching with Canberra for their Victorian games this season, just doing a bit of work with Nadio Poch and Chantel Horvat before they sub back into this game.
Poch to bring that in. Here's Melbourne. Collier looking to go to the hoop. No good.
I'd just like to see Collier maybe play off 2 feet a little bit there and use more power to be able to take that physicality as she's going to the rim. But Koenig just draining another 3, that defensive transition from the Caps. They need to tidy that up.
Here's Poch. Melbourne. They go to the corner. Bongi looks to get busy. No go. He's looking to push the ledger. It's to Rochi. Looking to drive. Melbourne wearing a tight lead. Travel. We know the Caps have given away a lot of points in their upcoming games. They're averaging around that 90 points mark, 100 around there. Do you think the defense has really picked up in this one? They've made it tough for the Southside Flyers.
Yeah, they have. Their half-court defense has definitely improved. It's the transition defense that needs a bit of work.
We're going to take a quick break here, but make sure you're catching us all the action after this. Well, welcome back. An exciting game it is. It's the Flyers. They lead this one by 6. Melbourne with ball in hand. To Poch early. Poch looking to drive, taking on Koenig. Working hard underneath. Great use of the body and good finish.
Yeah, and a great first play out of that timeout to be able to execute that and get a good high percentage shot. The Caps really needed that because the Flyers were starting to score in bunches.
Oh yeah, it's at the top. Koenig again getting to work from the outside. Another triple. Here's Melbourne. Actually playing really tight on Jade Melbourne. Hasn't had a lot of freedom in this one. Missed from the outside. Collier keeping it in. Ernst just parried it away, but it fell in the lap of Hovard, who finishes off the window.
And a nice little mid-range pull-up jump shot. The mid-range game is alive and well.
To Rochi, now Ernst. Lothridge just looking. Rochi split the middle. Wrap-around pass. Hillman's got to finish. Couldn't quite. Offensive rebound. Now it goes in.
And an unbelievable split of that odd-ball screen defense from Rochi there, and then being able to wrap the pass around. She's probably a little bit upset she didn't get the assist, but the Caps then to be able to come back and answer back with a score of their own. They've just got to keep themselves in touch.
Megan Hustwaite, you see something down there?
Yeah, it was interesting that the play for Potch straight out of that timeout was executed to potential, but Alice Kunek, who's just made another basket, is the main danger for Southside, but also for Canberra's concern at the moment. Paul Goris wanting to see his team locked down on defence when it comes to Kunek, but also Dallas Lothridge.
The Caps capitalise here. Hobart turnaround jumper, doesn't quite fall. Late in the shot clock that was. Here's Kunek. Driving. Posh just got a hand in out at the right moment. Rochi in the key way, and it's good. The shooters roll. And that one falls in. That lead extending out to 9 at the moment.
And I like the matchup of Potch on Kunek with her length and athleticism. She doesn't need to be that aggressive though and allow Kunek the driving lane to the basket. Just keep the ball in front, carry a hand, and don't allow her the three-point shot.
Melbourne attacks the hoop. Now to the line for a couple. Jade Melbourne 2 from 6 in this game from the field. Started off with a couple of easy baskets, but the recent ones have really been hard to work for. As we see Hovard just checking out the game.
She also has 4 assists now though too, so she's definitely facilitating the ball a lot more. But I would like to see her be more aggressive and start taking over a bit of the scoring load.
So one falls. Okay, Melbourne, of course, from Terralgan. No doubt there'll be plenty of Terralganites in the crowd.
Oh, they'll all be there, don't you worry.
A local superstar. As Melbourne checks out of the game. Here's Rochi at the top. Hillman. Hand off to Beck Cole. We've got something off ball here, down low. 20 heads or tails of this. Nails on Potch in her first personal foul for the afternoon. Rochi from the baseline. Kunek straight away. Ernst. That one's good. That's the Carly Ernst we know and love.
And just got caught, Deagle just got caught over-helping a little bit on that foul line area. She didn't need to commit that much. Got to stay at home on the shooters, particularly someone like Carly Ernst.
1 from 4 this afternoon is Carly Ernst from beyond the arc. Great move straight down the middle for Babongi. Kunek looking to go to work. Munga appealing for the wraparound. Now given away. Hillman will check out. Baseline ball again here for the Flyers. Caps really need to stop here. The Flyers are just starting to creep ahead. Cole, corner, it's good.
Yeah, and I think you saw that, I think nearly all 5 Caps had their feet inside the key on that. With the way that the Flyers are shooting the 3 ball, you have to be more aggressive at carrying a hand to shooters.
Polio starting to work from the outside. Probably not the look that they need. Here's Rochi again. Cole looking for Koenig underneath. Koenig wore the contact, no whistle. Perhaps get it moving. Botch went hard to the hoop. Through the contact, and let's hope she's okay. A little sore off that one. I'm going to take a little moment here. There's Posh just... Now there's a timeout called on the floor as well at the same time. And Posh just getting to the feet. Let's have a look at that on replay. Posh straight to the hoop. Ernst was there. Good footing, I think. Calling all sports teams, say goodbye to the travel headaches and hello to CTM Sports. CTM are 100% committed to delivering excellence in our field. Leave the logistics to the travel experts so your athletes can focus on what they do best. Learn more at ttmsports.com.au for all your sports travel plans. Zoe, the Caps just starting to get away from them at the moment. The Flyers are just starting to score at will. What do you think the Caps have got to do here to work back into this one?
Yeah, I sound like a bit of a broken record, but they have to lock down defensively, particularly in transition, and find open shooters. The Flyers are just shooting the ball at will from the three-point line. They're currently 8 of 16. So if that trend continues for the rest of the game, this is going to blow out. So they need to take care of that as quickly as possible, and that will then help generate some offense for them as well if they can come up with those stops.
Megan Husselwaite down on the sidelines. What did you hear in the timeout?
Well, the feeling in the Canberra timeout was certainly that they're under a bit of pressure now and the momentum has swung in at Southside's favour. Paul Gorst used the 17-year-old Monique Babongi as an example of someone that's giving it all. She's getting deflections, she's getting steals, and he wants to see the team take on that approach in these final few minutes of this first half.
We know that's been such a headache of the game. We heard Paul Gorst, at the start of the game, talk about the leaky boat. He's a little bit leaky at the moment, but great to see that he's getting around his young players and really encourage them to do those extra things. Here's Rochi. See if they can get a stop here. Hillman. And the handoff. Young. Down low to Cole. Back to Hillman at the top. Deep in the shot clock. 4 seconds left. Steal almost. Out of court. It's going to be Canberra ball. So they get the turnover thereafter.
And that's really pleasing, particularly out of a timeout, that they were able to sit down and defend that for nearly the whole 24-second shot clock. So a really pleasing sign for the Caps. Hopefully they can string a few of those together.
So from a turnover, points would be fantastic. Melbourne directing traffic. Potch. A little bit of space to operate. Thought about it. Back to Melbourne. 7 on the shot clock. Rochi doing really well, giving Melbourne no room. Great crossover. What a drive. Just doesn't quite finish. Cole away quickly. In transition, Koenig tried to find Young. Foot violation. It was handy in the end as it slows things down. Inbounds will come. Rochi to Cole, and that one's out of court. Now, for dealers, they love to see their WNBL sporting heroes and Aussie families conquering their goals. And it's easy to conquer the everyday in the 7-seat Ford Everest Sport SUV. Find the Everest that's right for you at your local Ford dealer. Well, it seems a little bit like Mount Everest at the moment for the Caps as they work out of this one. Let's see what they can do here on the defensive end. Rochi to Young. Cole from 3. Off the front iron. Cole followed the shot, but rebound didn't quite finish. Babongi doing well. Rochi playing up, committing the foul. And the Caps will get an opportunity to set some offense.
And as a coach, you don't mind that foul unless it puts her into some sort of foul trouble herself. When you've got fouls to give and a young team's looking to really push the ball in offensive transition, committing that foul and stopping the run so you can match up defensively is a really good decision.
And only Matty Rocci's second personal, so right in that zone. You can see Luffridge getting a lot of minutes. Young player. Christy Harrow really backing her in of late. Here's Melbourne. Collier from deep. Doesn't quite fall. Luffridge running point. Hillman. Cole. Driving. Finishing. That's vintage Beck Cole.
And a beautiful hesitation, change of pace. She took one hard dribble, almost stopped, and then went back to the floor again. Change of pace is the hardest thing to defend in the game of basketball, and you just saw it there.
No one falls as Jade Melbourne works her way to the line. A little bit of a two-pace game from Jade Melbourne. Started strong, took a while to get her next basket after that, and now working to the hoop on that one. Apologies, I said that the points, they did count. It was a three-point play. Everyone was standing still on that one as well. You saw me down the river.
The Caps into a press here just to try and break the rhythm of the Flyers.
Luffridge Hillman. Looking to feed Koenig, who works hard underneath Melbourne. A good defensive play. Bongi now nearly had the pocket picked. So an offensive foul here. See where that was. Well, I think that was off ball. I don't think the replay tells the story on that one. Koenig looks shocked. As we go into a timeout here. In the closing minutes of the second term, what are the Caps going to draw up here, Zoe?
Oh, well, I think now they're going to have to, it'll be about this defensive possession. So making sure that they're looking after shooters, not allowing the ball easing into the paint, and trying to create a bit of chaos like they have on the last couple of possessions. So they may go to a little half-court press here just to try and push the Flyers out of their rhythm. But when whatever shot the Flyers end up getting goes up, they must find bodies, and there will be that discussion of limiting it to one shot only.
How important is this momentum period at the moment coming into the half?
It's huge because especially at the moment where you're still within 10, the mental shift that happens if you go into a halftime break, double figures or above, is massive. It seems like it's such more of a mountain to have to climb. So they need to make sure that they keep this under double figures and maybe even try and obviously get it as close as they can, but definitely don't let that spill into double figures.
So we're looking for a stop from the Caps and hopefully a couple of points on the board. 2-for-1 opportunity coming up in a moment's time as well. We'll keep an eye on that. So the Flyers will kick us off with possession. Luffridge. Cole. Pulling up, Cole, fouled. That'll be 2. A quiet game for Beck Cole standards. Only the 5 points so far.
But she's been an absolute menace defensively. She's been all over the place and often been the defender that's led to a steal, which doesn't get on the stat sheet, but is so beneficial for any team.
Oh, missing both. Tafiano with the rebound. Here's Melbourne getting to work. In the handoff. 3 ball just doesn't quite fall for the Caps. 26 seconds left here in the second quarter. You think the Flyers will probably like to play this one out as long as possible. Only allowing for one shot. Cole, Kunik at the top. Back to Cole. Jab step. Now looking to drive. Committed the turnover. And now the Caps have 8 seconds to get some sort of score. So they passed the test. They didn't give away any score out of that timeout. And they haven't manufactured anything of their own just yet. 5 on the clock. Melbourne working hard. Handoff. It's a big heave, but it doesn't fall. So we go into the break. The Southside Flyers 47, the Caps 39. An interesting first half zone.
Yeah, and look, the Flyers are in control here. They're getting scores when they want them, when they need them. But the Caps are just hanging in there, and that's what they need to do for the rest of this game.
We'll go down courtside. Megan Hustwaite, I believe you've got Kunik with us.
Well, Alice, you led by 2 points at quarter time. What was the catalyst into turning that into a lead?
Look, it's just our defense. We're really trying to pride ourselves more on our defense. We weren't happy the previous games giving up too many, and we know they can put 80 points on the board really well. They've got scorers all around, so just trying to lock down our defense and then run the floor in offense.
And you're building on what you were able to establish last week in the win. Are you seeing some good signs there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, we won't have to scratch the first 2 rounds into our defense, and it's really been an emphasis for us. So every day we're just going to keep building in every possession, really. So I'm really proud of the girls.
Well, Alice Kunik leading scoring at halftime. We'll let her get into the rooms. At Southside lead the Capitals 47-39. We'll have all the highlights and analysis on the other side of this.
I'm on my prime, I'm feeling like Steph. I get my shot and I promise it's wet. Waited too long, but I told him I'm next. I need my bag, just want me to check. Cable was mine, I ain't taking less. I told them all I'm as well as it gets. Champion shit, dog, I'm cutting the net.
Welcome back to this WNBL clash. It's been an interesting one as the Flyers have been leading this one 47-39. Zoe, what a first pick.
Oh, the up and down. We said from the start it was going to be two completely different teams in the way that they play, a young team versus a more veteran team. And you're seeing that in the way that both teams have approached this game. But like I said before the break, the Caps are hanging in there. And they just need to continue to hang in there and give themselves the best chance come the fourth quarter.
Have a look at these highlights from the game. It was the Caps getting away. They got some good transition baskets early through Melbourne, and they got a couple of good steals. Koenig's been elite, which we'll look at the moment. But, you know, the Caps, they have put up a big fight, but it's been the Southside Flyers on the offensive end that's been dominant.
It has. Like, from the three-point line, 8 of 17 for the game. So they're incredible statistics for just a half. But it's all because there's been great shots. They're finding each other, finding the open player. So they're largely uncontested. And when they're uncontested, they become like training shots, and every one of these players can knock it down.
Yeah, that's been a real tough look for them. Let's take a look at our player of the game so far, our spotlight on Alice Koenig. She's been unbelievable. Her stats at the moment have been fantastic. From three, her numbers have been great.
Yeah, so at the moment she is 3 of 5, so shooting at 60% from the three-point line. She's 50% from the field overall, but she's also contributed 3 assists herself. So she's not only getting her own, she's getting others open.
She certainly is. There's been, let's have a look at the numbers in close from both teams, the Southside Flyers and the Caps. Koenig with 13, Hobart with 11, leading scorers at both ends. Jade Melbourne's been fantastic, quite on the points perspective, but across the board she's been amazing.
Yeah, and as we spoke about in the break, it's a little bit, you know, you sort of think Jade Melbourne's had a quiet game, but she's got 9, 3, and 4 so far for the half. So she is doing her job. There is a heavy emphasis on her every time she's coming off anything. They're setting a double team, or there's heavy pressure on her. So I expect to see her break open a little bit more in this half.
And of course, our player of the half so far, Alice Koenig, who's been brilliant. We talked about her already, but let's talk her about a little bit more. 13 points, the single rebound, and the 3 assists.
Yeah, and even just the way she has run the floor, like we've spoken about the way she's shot the ball. She shot the ball predominantly for a half, but as soon as the Flyers come up with the ball, she is gone. She is running in transition, and she's opening up opportunities for herself and others. And that is where a lot of her threes are coming from, because the defense is in rotation from defensive transition.
4 from 8 from the field, 50%. 2 from 2 from free throw. Only the single turnover. She's been definitely the player of the game. I think it's going to be on her back if they can really dominate the second half.
Yeah, well, and it's also going to be whether the Caps can limit her, because if they can limit her, they're in with a shot. But if they allow her to continue the way she's going to be up around a 30-point game.
Certainly it will. This season, the WNBL is taking a stance against domestic violence. Putting a stop to this is everybody's business. Make an effort to recognise warning signs, listen to survivors, and speak up. For more info, head to fullstopaustralia.com. Break the silence and stop the violence. We're going to take a quick break here. It's the Flyers leading this one 47-39. Make sure you're joining us, as this should be an action-packed second half.
Along with possession, Froling out to Ellsworthy, into the corner for Potter, pulls the trigger, that was huge!
It's been a calm head so far in this one. Ellis driving baseline, what a dive! No look handoff to Froling.
From the opening round, Wilson back the other way does everything but drop. Amihi gets a rebound, up, under, spins, this way, that way, hoop plus the harm. What a play.
Looking to make her way into the keyway, just kicking off early. On bogey, driving, underneath the hoop, and it's there, a great reverse lane.
She makes a move, put a beat, gets it back Froling. Is she gets the bucket. Right on the halftime buzzer.
Well, that went as well as you could possibly hope.
Southside Flyers are champions of the WNBL for the 5th time.
Coming off a championship, people are chasing after you. People want to go out, fight hard, and they want to beat you every single time you're on the floor. So for me, success is showing up and playing for 40 minutes. It's not given, and we have to earn it. And I think this season is really looking to be different. We have, you know, those experienced players as well as this new generation coming through. And I think it's going to be really exciting.
Cole! Yes!
It's amazing that I get to play with my work wife, my soul sister, my best friend, Alice. So happy that she's back in the country. She's been gone for so long. For me, just getting to play with your best friend is something really special and unique. It doesn't happen often, and she's also had a rough year, and I just want to be there for her to fall in love with the game again. And, you know, she's such a great player and great person.
Bunick in the corner, and it's good.
I think going through basketball experiences, whether, you know, you get cut from national teams, maybe you don't have a good game, you lose, is you learn really what your worth is, and that number doesn't define you as a person. And for me, it took a couple of years to get over, you know, not being a part of the national teams anymore. But For me, I just want to go out there. I want to have fun. I'm the captain of my team. I want to be a great leader. And I know I'm a really good basketball player. So just because you're not part of a team doesn't mean that your value, you know, isn't really needed on your team. And I just want, I guess, this next generation to look up to me. And for me, I work really hard and I feel like I set a standard. So that's something I really want to lead by example.
Welcome back to this WNBL clash between the Flyers and the Caps. It's the Flyers 47, the Caps 39. Great to see Beck Cole and having a chat with Beck Cole there at halftime. Zoe, it must be great to have somebody like Beck Cole representing this league.
Absolutely. She's the sort of player, you hear her there, even just being able to say, I'm a really good basketball player. You know, that's what our young girls need to be able to have the confidence to say that I am actually good at something, and she's 100% right. So I would love for all of our young, particularly female athletes, to watch that package if they can.
I certainly agree. Now let's go down courtside to Megan Huswaite, who caught up with Cole and Koenig a little earlier.
Well, Beck Cole and Alice Koenig first played together for the Melbourne Boomers many moons ago, and they've experienced adversity, injuries, and now supreme form in the years that have followed, and now teammates doing great things for the Southside Flyers. I caught up with Flyers assistant coach Bernie Harrower out of halftime. The message from his daughter, head coach Christy, was about limiting turnovers in the second half. They want to also emphasise locking down defensively on Canberra. They feel they're doing okay offensively, but defence will be a focal point for Southside in this second half.
Melbourne to Collier. Deep into the shot clock. Obongi baseline. Caught. Shot clock expiring. Fade away, and it's good to beat the shot clock.
What a creative shot out of that. Played through the Nash zone, which is behind the backboard, under the basket, and just found something. That was incredible. And one of the things that I don't think we do enough of just, you know, find some fun shots and different ways to score. Well done, Monique Obongi.
All of a sudden, brings that back down to 6. The Flyers turn one over. Big important moment coming out of the half here for the Caps. A score here will be monumental. Melbourne looking to move the ball here. Down low, Collier, 5 on the clock. Straight to the hoop, was strong. Caps will retain possession, they get a fresh 14. Let off the hook, Ernst was appealing for the offensive call. The baseline ball here for the Caps, a fresh 14. Melbourne. Obongi almost had that one picked away. Poch. Down low. Hobart to the hoop. Doesn't quite fall. And we see a foul here. Carly Ernst and Collier getting into it. Interesting stuff. Both players play with such good heated aggression. Don't want to give away anything silly. Let's have a look at here. This was the drive from Horvath. Just a little bit off ball. Great to see the two bigs go at it, Zoe.
Yeah, they both sort of wrapped up underneath the basket on the shot, but you know, Ernst probably did that a little bit too far in showing the referee and trying to get Collier off her. But I don't mind a little bit of argy-bargy for the game. You know, teams sticking up for each other and themselves. Just as long as it doesn't cross the line, and I don't think it did in this instance.
You're right, it's what happens next is so important. They'll play each other fiercely, and you just feel that the Caps, they're going to get under a few people's skin. They're the young team, they're not going to be bullied at all. It'll be interesting to see what they can do here. They find themselves trailing by 6. Now, officials just working out our next course of action here, and we see Koenig to the line, so technical on Collier. Koenig makes that. So possession will come back here for the Caps, and they'll go to the line. Collier. It's taking a little bit of time to set. We'll get another one. Carly Ernst now on the bench. The margin comes back just a little closer, and the Caps will get possession. So 5 points the difference now and a possession.
And that's Ernst's third personal foul. So now they're going to have to just manage her for the rest of this quarter to make sure she doesn't pick up her fourth going into the fourth quarter, because she's going to be pivotal as the Caps start to try and base a run onto the Flyers. They're going to need Ernst in the game.
Rochi has Potch to contend with. To Koenig. Melbourne with the job on Koenig. Cole. 5 on the shot clock. Cole to Koenig. 3 seconds left. Back to Cole. Has to shoot here. I don't think she knew how long there was left on the shot clock. And a turnover for the Flyers. They just haven't got it going outside of this halftime break.
No, they're just a little bit shaky coming out of the half. And on the other side, Caps have come out with full aggression and full momentum here. So again, a staple of a young team. They want to almost start again. And they've started this quarter strong.
Last 3 attempts at the hoop just haven't fallen for the Caps. They've done the hard work. Just got to put the points away, and we see a foul here early in the offensive set. This game just really in the balance at the moment.
It is, and it sounds ridiculous, but it could go either way here. Like, this could become a real arm wrestle for the rest of the game, or a team could really just break it out. It's sort of one of the two things will happen. And at the moment, the Caps have all the momentum.
Which way will the pendulum swing? I think it's going to depend on one of the next makes. And one of those circus looks again from Babongi, who got the rebound out to Melbourne. This would be huge if it falls. It doesn't. They fight hard for the rebound here. They've got a whistle, and I think that's going to be against Beck Cole. It is. The Flyers as well. Early team fouls in this one. Let's have a look at that. With a collision. The foul was plucked out of that one. Baseline ball here, trying to get it into Hobart. And we've got another foul here, this time on Hillman. So they're really starting to accumulate the team fouls now. The Flyers early in this piece. Melbourne. Turnover. Rochi just got the hand in. Great defensive work by Maddie Rochi. And now we'll go into a timeout so early in the third term.
Yeah, but I think it's needed. I think it's a good timeout by Coach Chrissy Harrow here, just to steady the ship a little bit.
Now we're going to take a quick break. Make sure you're joining us for all the action. It's the Flyers 48, the Caps 43. What? This is, yeah.
Hey, the Caps could just hit that.
We're back here in the third term. Tense moments for both teams. We really feel the game is in the balance at the moment. The Caps have missed their last 4, and the Southside Flyers have only had 1 jump shot attempt in this third quarter, and it wasn't successful. Rochi looking to get it underway. Travel, went up with it, came down with it.
And the Caps are doing their job defensively. They're getting the stops they need, but now they need to convert them into points, because if they continue in this arm wrestle, eventually the Flyers will figure it out. and be able to start putting points on the board. So they've got to execute and try and tick the scoreboard over.
That's 5 consecutive misses now for the Caps. Hillman in the post. No go on that one. Bongi's going to run the floor here. Having to take on Cole. Out the top, here's Melbourne. Poch from deep. Could have that been the one just to get things started? Hobart now into Collier, taking on Vaughan. No good. Bongi battling away hard on that one. And now getting in the face of Cole. Plenty in this game. We've got Megan Huswaite on the sideline. What have you got for us, Megan?
Well, the message from Paul Goris in that timeout was all about the energy. Loves the energy Canberra's brought out of halftime. He won't like that so much. The multiple efforts by the Caps players, and Charlie Collier just getting some tape reapplied underneath her right foot in that timeout.
Poch to the hoop. Just misses that one. You're right, Megan. Energy is a big factor in this game. Both teams are bringing it. Here's Rochi. Awkward look for Rochi, fell in her lap, fadeaway jumper, no good. And again, the Caps just struggling to get it going. It's 6 consecutive misses. They'd love something here, Zoe.
Yeah, that's it. They've got to execute and get something high percentage. As we mentioned, they're doing the work defensively. They're putting it in defensively and they're making it really hard for the Flyers. But that's not going to last forever. So they're missing opportunities right now to bring themselves back into this game or bring this deficit back in.
Great for Hillman to go to the rack, drawing the foul against Melbourne. Now, for a quick and easy weeknight dinner, the whole family will enjoy. Pick up a pack of Latina Fresh pasta and sauce. Ready in minutes and so delicious, there won't be any complaints at the dinner table. Find Latina Fresh in a chilled pasta aisle near you.
That used to be my pre-game meal.
Latina Fresh,
yep,
pre-game.
Ravioli and bolognese.
I love that, Zoe. Carving up, as they say. Here's Melbourne. Caps really need a score here. Cole looking for the pick. Didn't quite get it. Drive, dish, Collier underneath. The Caps finally break the deadlock in the second half.
And that's exactly what they needed. They created for each other, got feet in the paint, wide open player under the basket, high percentage. Now, unfortunately, they didn't get the stop on that to be able to reward themselves.
Hillman running hot at the moment, 6 points here in the second half. Got things started, really getting that party started for the Flyers. Great pass, Collier trying again, another unfortunate miss for the Caps. The hoop seems to be half the size at the other end. Cole, Vaughan, foul will go to the line for 2. That foul against Hobart. Have a look at that foul there.
I thought that was pretty good D. I thought she had good positioning, took the hit down the chest and got a lot of ball, but it's very different watching from up here than on court side. But, you know, it's one of those things. She's put her body on the line and she's made a statement that it's not going to be easy to get to the rim, so that's still valuable for the Caps.
See, off hands here. Possession's going to remain with the Flyers. Rochi to Koenig, to Cole in the corner, back to Rochi, went from deep, off the back iron, no good. Great rebound, Hobart. Margin at 10, that psychological 10, the Caps really need a score here. Bauer for 3, makes it back to 7.
And hasn't she had a massive impact in this quarter? Broke the deadlock and was able to create to get the layup, and now sinking the 3. Great minutes.
Koenig looking to answer back with one of her own, doesn't quite. Melbourne operating with some urgency here. Straight to Poch. who drives. Flick up just wasn't there. And it's out of court in the end. It's going to be Southside Flyer ball.
And a good take from Potch. I'd just like to see her again play off that 2 feet and play above the defense rather than trying to come off 1 foot, because when you get that hit, it's really hard to maintain your balance.
Here's Koenig. Potch on Koenig. Now Hillman. Looking to penetrate, but couldn't. Hobart was great on D. Rochi went. Foul on Potch.
Just a little bit late on. There was a bit of a mix-up defensively. 2 went to 1 player, so Potch was a little bit late getting back out to that. Nearly got it, but yeah, it's one of those times where you should just be happy to be there rather than trying to go for that steal and keep the ball in front.
And with only 1 personal foul in the bag, it's not the worst. That's now her second at this stage of the game.
No, the only thing is that it's the bonus, so that becomes a bit of a problem. You don't want to be giving free points to a veteran team. But other than that, you know, it's at least showing an intent to play aggressively defensively.
With Signet WNBL season launch kicking off at their reimagined store at Melbourne Central, celebrate the hoop season by grabbing the latest kicks and apparel at your nearby Foot Locker, the official major partner of the WNBL. I know I'm always down at Foot Locker trying to get the freshest kicks. Here's Melbourne. Luffridge on Melbourne. Cofiano on the floor now. Off-ball foul here. Offensive. Look to be against Bauer. Not one you want to give away for the Caps.
No, I mean, you never really want to give those away, but especially in the context of the game at the moment, they're really, when scores are so hard to come by, you can't just be giving away possessions like that.
Luffridge on the 45, looking to drive. Good take in the end. Great defense by Melbourne. Foul committed. So the Flyers will go to the line.
And just great to see the aggression for Dallas Luffridge here. Like, she's had a bit of a tough start to her WNBL career, like starting her first year in the WNBL with an ACL injury. And so being able to be here now and be that aggressive and show us what she's capable of, I think it's going to be only bigger and better things for her. But she's had a massive contribution to this game.
And with that one, bringing up her 10th point of the game, we'll talk about contribution. Great handy effort coming off the bench. The Southside Flyers have 11 bench points. Melbourne. Hand off. Hobart, corner 3. There it is. That's good. Luffridge looking to come straight back here for the Flyers. Into Vaughan. Hand off back to Luffridge. A little bit of room to operate here. Cole looking to split him. Does. Finger roll, Cole.
A beautiful take. We mentioned before that, you know, she might have had a bit of a quiet game, but she comes up big whenever the Flyers need her.
Stolen away. Beck Cole now in transition. Hard to the hoop. Look to draw the foul, but the basket didn't fall. They'll get it back. Koenig over the top. Hillman in the post, spinning and firing. Fouled, will go to the line for 2.
And just a really dangerous moment for the Caps here. The Flyers have started to wrestle that momentum back and are starting to get easier high percentage looks or getting themselves to the line. So really dangerous for the Caps now that they have to, it becomes even more important that they execute offensively and that defensively they're all on the same page, because that's where it's getting a little bit stuck. There's mismatches being created all over the place because of a bit of a lack of communication.
Megan Huswaite down on the sideline.
And that was a knowing sigh from Paul Goris, having worked with Hillman over the last couple of WNBA seasons at Atlanta. He reckons she's the best rim runner in the WNBL, and he's been working with her on her jump shot and perimeter skills, and says she's even harder to guard. He's going to hope that's not the case in this next 2 minutes and quarter to play.
Certainly, we'll talk about that dream connection earlier. Watch there on screen, a part of that as well. That draft, they still have their draft rights to Potch. 13 points to margin at the moment. Caps desperate for a basket here in this offensive set. Hovart, Tofiano, handoff to Poch, kept it. Great lane and one. You love to see it. A beautiful play, keeping it and going.
Absolutely, and just a little head and shoulder fake and change of pace. She takes the dribble, just sort of brushes off Poch and says, I'm going to do this myself, takes the contact and finishes on the other side of the rim, protecting herself from the long defensive effort, being able to then finish with that reverse layup. An outstanding finish there.
Couldn't quite finish the three-point play. It would have been super handy.
And that's been the story of the Caps, hasn't it? They do everything right. They get the stops they need. They do it, and they can't quite capitalise when they need to.
Luffridge looking to drive this time, finishes with the right hand. Melbourne looked a little bereft after that one. What do I got to do to stop that? Melbourne now, Tofiano, kick out. It's Wayward, another turnover. Minute 37 left in the third term. The game at one point was in balance. You feel that the pendulum has swung here for the Flyers. They're just ahead. Koenig. Poch committed the foul. That's number 3 now on Poch. Fouls are starting to amount for the Caps. As we have 3 on Poch, 3 on Babongi, 3 on Collier. And also 3 on Hovard as well. Koenig to the line. Big hush over the State Basketball Centre. No one's good. And the second. What can Jade Melbourne manufacture here for her Caps? Averaging the 20 points per game on 9 at the moment. To the hoop. Will go to the line for a couple. Hillman not happy, pleading her case. And you can see the frustration mounting for Nars Hillman. Let's have a look at this on the replay. Melbourne went to the hoop. There it was there. I don't think there's much to worry about. It seemed to be all hands, Zoe.
Yeah, I think there was a foul there, but sometimes when you're in the thick of it, if you get a piece of the ball, you kind of don't feel the rest of it. So I think that's what's happened there.
Melbourne makes good on that one. So Melbourne now into double digits. Both of those good. Rochi to Koenig. Caps go full court. Ernst. Luffridge. Cole. Ten on the shot clock. Down low to Hillman. Tofiano walling up. Hillman, too big, too strong.
And a beautiful feed and finish to be able to create space with her body and finish high and soft off the glass.
Great find for Tofiano and roll to the basket to get a quick 2. The Caps answer back straight away.
And it's something we spoke about before, looking to play a little bit more off dribble handoff, a little bit more off on-ball screen, just to create a little more, a different approach at getting the ball inside.
That was a foul on Jade Melbourne. All 5 of the starting lineup for the Caps are on 3 fouls.
That could have potentially a really big impact coming into the fourth quarter, especially when there are some of the Southside Flyers in foul trouble as well. So both teams are just going to have to make sure that they stay clean and try and defend with their feet and take hits down the line.
Really has been a good old-fashioned contest, hasn't it? With both teams giving away a lot of fouls. And it's what we came to expect. We heard from both coaches at the start of the game. They said that defense was their number 1 priority.
Yeah, they did. And sometimes that can end up in foul trouble because you are trying to be more aggressive and set the tone defensively.
And 1 to Jade Melbourne, who somehow got that shot away. She'll go to the line for an extra. What a lane by Melbourne. Let's have a look at that in the replay. There it is there. How did that go in?
I find myself saying that about Jade Melbourne a lot of the time. The way she's able to contort her body, take hits, and still even just get the shot away, let alone make the shot, is just next level.
Fortunately, that one doesn't drop. Coleman. 20 seconds left here of the third term. Koenig. Caught. Foul given away. Great set of defense, and to give away the foul. I can see it written on your face, Zoe. You weren't happy with that one.
My heart breaks for Coach Goris right now. They did everything right. They blitzed that or trapped that on-ball screen, forced Koenig so far away from the basket, and then committed the foul at that last minute. Whether it was there or not, it's a case of making sure that, you know, when you've got them where you want them, just try and keep them there and don't put yourself in a position for a foul to be called.
Sounds good. One more to come. Koenig's always going to nail those. Koenig. Now with 18, here's Melbourne. Clock ticking away. Melbourne, no. Hillman with the rebound. Luffridge will just dribble it out. The Southside Flyers really broke open that third term as they lead this one 73-58. We're going to take a quick break here on the WNBL coverage. Make sure you're joining us for the fourth quarter because this is set to be a great one. Welcome back to the WNBL clash between the Flyers and the Caps. It's the Flyers 73, the Caps 58. Tense moments in that third term, Zoe. The Caps that just couldn't wrestle it back in their favour with Southside Flyers just holding on.
Yeah, they did a great job early in the quarter of getting multiple stops in a row and really getting under the skin of the Flyers, but they couldn't quite capitalise at the other end, and I think they went, seven empty possessions where they really could have taken over the game. But, you know, it's one of those things. This is a young team that thrives on energy, they'll come out this quarter and give a really good push to start this quarter and throw everything they can to have a crack at this Southside Flyers team.
Let's go down to Megan Hustwaite. What did you pick up from the three-quarter time break?
Well, it was the captain, Beck Cole, who led the three-quarter time address. She wants her players to stop talking to the refs. She said they need to stick together, and if they're going to get angry, yell at each other. I also had a quick chat to New Zealand international Tara Reid, who is yet to come into this team. She's been battling an ankle injury, but is expected to play next week against Bendigo, so that's going to be a fantastic rotation for Southside going forward.
Hobart to Collier. They get the first one here to open up the account for the Caps. Brings that margin back to 13. In fact, the last team to beat the Southside Flyers at the State Basketball Centre was the Caps, all the way back in January. Luffridge in the corner doesn't get that one. As we know, the Southside Flyers, they moved to the State Netball Centre for that period of time while there was renovations. Hobart from outside doesn't quite hit that one. Rochi with the rebound, looking to slow things down here is Matty Rochi. Going to Koenig. Ernst. Luffridge. Melbourne. Right up in the grill. Rochi. Foul.
And you can see the intent of the Caps. They are trying to put a stamp on it defensively. So, like we mentioned in the third quarter, when you are trying to be aggressive and you're trying to set the tone defensively, these fouls can occur.
That's personal foul number 4 for Bauer. Doris keeping her in the game. Nick to inbound. Luffridge. Found the way into the keyway, up with it. Now to the line for 2.
And a really good job of just putting what we call putting her defender in jails. They got her on her back and just held her there and used her body to then create separation to get herself to the line.
See exactly that there. First one, good. And the next. Albert. Going to go to work, finds Collier in the keyway, stolen away. Flyers in transition. Rochi has Koenig and Luffridge. To Carly Ernst. Off the back iron and over the board. Hillman. Luffridge. Rochi. 7 on the shot clock. Rochi splits the middle. Finger roll off the glass for a sweet 2.
And a beautiful take, and you can see there just the experience of Rochi being able to slow that down with the clock running down and create a wide open shot layup for herself.
Look out, Luffridge, Ernst. Carly Ernst, one just off. Carly Ernst, the 1 from 6 from the outside, unlike Carly. Melbourne. Bauer for 3.
Again, having a real impact in this game. It's starting to sort of break away a little bit and hits the 3. Again, wonderful minutes from Bauer.
8 points now. Hillman. Carly Ernst in the post. Hobart having to guard. Carly Ernst with the hook, and it goes in.
And that's the brilliance of Carly Ernst. You know, she's a 3-point shooter by trade, but that she hasn't been knocking them down today. It hasn't been her day from the 3-point line. So she goes inside and creates a post move.
Bauer missing that one. Rochi. Another drive from Rochi, and another great 2. Matty Rochi's just starting to warm up in this one.
Yes, she is. She's really starting to take over, both as a leader and a scorer.
Yeah, her leadership is amazing. Leads by example. We're so fortunate to see that all year at the NBL 1 level with the Keilor Thunder.
and you'll get to see it again. She's re-signed with the Keilor Thunder NBL 1.
He certainly has, and leading some programs down there as well with the Essendon Keilor College. That should be a fantastic one. And of course, we spoke a little earlier about Tedder Reid to come back to this lineup as well, who also went around for the Thunder. She's been battling that ankle injury. She's going to be a real key component to this Southside Flyers team.
She is. She's an absolute nightmare matchup because you put a big on her and she just goes right by them. You put a smaller player on her and she's too big for them. So she just adds a level of versatility and experience to this already versatile and experienced Southside Flyers team.
One thing I'm most impressed with her is her defensive capabilities as well. It's the same story, but the opposite, right?
Yeah.
She can defend a big and defend small as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Her length is just sometimes unassuming. You don't realise just how long she is, but she can get in lanes, she can defend bigs, she can stop the ball. You name it defensively, she can do it.
She certainly can. Well, the Flyers are in a commanding position at the moment. Let's take a look at this Amy replay earlier from Jade Melbourne. That was just unbelievable. Probably play of the game, I reckon.
Yeah, so impressive to be able to take that hit and like I said at the time, even be able to get the shot up, let alone give it a chance to go in, is just vintage Jade Melbourne. And I say vintage for such a young player, but vintage Jade Melbourne.
Move it quickly. Going hard at the hoop. Drew the foul, the contact, and the two now.
And Lockridge just a little late to get her hands up. If she had of, but probably would have been a no call there, but hands were just a little late to get in the air to wall up.
Megan Huswaite down on the sideline.
Well, Paul Goriss was absolutely furious with his players at that timeout, particularly off the back of two layups down the middle of the floor. He said, this is our time to fight, and I want people who want to fight. He also cited a breakdown of communication, among other things, on the defensive end, so he wants to see them improve that and try and get back in this game because, as we can see, it's blown out.
It certainly has blown out. It's been a tough one. What are your thoughts on that, Zoe?
Yeah, I just think, you know, he asked in that timeout for players that are going to fight, and then you see Potch just there, you know, fight for that board that looked almost inevitable to go to the Southside Flyers, and she forced it to be another Caps possession. That's exactly what Coach Goriss is looking for here. And so now, if all 5 players can get on that same page, we could see a really late run here from the Caps.
So we know basketball's such a game of runs, especially in this modern game. Can they manufacture that run here? Potch running out of room. Melbourne with 8 on the shot clock. That one just doesn't fall. It really has been an afternoon of almost makes for this Caps team.
It has, and you know, it's great that they've had the opportunities. Now they've got to take their game to the next level as a team and capitalise on that.
Well, here we go. A defensive play turned into offensive points. Babongi with a spin and great finish.
And the balance to be able to be going at full speed, spin like that, and then finish softly over the rim. She made that look easy. That is incredibly difficult.
So difficult. Here's Cole. Ernst in the handoff to Koenig. Some fight here from the Caps. Look at it show, deep in the shot clock, 1 left, Cole has to fire. Unfortunately, it goes in for the Caps, but fortunate for the Flyers. That was amazing. Into the post, Collier, Melbourne. Hobart with the screen. Melbourne, step back. Oh, that was pretty.
Yeah, beautiful step back, mid-range pull-up jump shot from Jade Melbourne there. But it's also when the Caps have got open and good scores, there's always been a good screen set before that's happened. And when the Caps go a little bit light on their screening is when they're not getting themselves open.
Rochi to Hillman, what a find. Hillman draws the contact and the and one. Just great connectivity between the 1 and the 5.
Yeah, definite class just from both there to be able to come off and thread that through, finish through the contact. You know, that's just that is what the WNBL is all about. That's the level of basketball we expect to see here.
Well, we've got a timeout on the floor. Paul Goriss is going to have a chat to his team one more time. here in this fourth term. The game is probably out of reach now, but what's the message here, Zoe? You've been in this situation before.
Yeah, I think it's about just changing what a win is now, and almost there'd be a message of, you know, who wants to play, who wants to make a stand here and show us that this is what we are about as a unit and as a franchise. And I think by the looks of his body language there, that is the message that's probably being conveyed. Who wants to step up and say, righto, the game might be a little bit out of reach, but we are still going to fight.
So the whiteboard gets thrown out. It's more of a call of the Chargers.
Yeah, it's more about standards. It's more about effort and intensity than, you know, really X's and O's at this point.
We get a peek into the other timeout here with Christy Harrower. It's the exact opposite. It's X's and O's.
Yeah, so she's working obviously in a different sort of mindset. Her players are, you know, fighting and they're executing, so she can really play around with that. She doesn't need a call to arms at this stage.
Certainly. Regardless of the scoreline, it's been such a fantastic game. See that one earlier with Koenig to Cole to beat the clock. Oh, as they call each other, the work wives combining.
Such a classic Bet Cole shot as well. She often hits those.
Megan Husway down on the sideline.
Taya Burrows into the game for the Southside Flyers, and what a great story she is returning to the league this year. Was part of the Perth Lynx team when they made the grand final a few years ago. Gave Europe a crack last year, but was cut from her Swedish team. Back in Australia, she flew herself over to Melbourne to try out for the Flyers and won a spot on the roster. And there she is now in action. It's great to see.
It is certainly a great story, Megan. Great to have your insight down on the sideline. Rochi over the top to Hillman, combining again. Hillman gets busy, but Toviano, who's been brilliant in patches when she's been on the floor, especially defensively, and doing some great work on offense. Now Poch to take on Cole. Cole using the feet well to get in front. Poch finishing. A brilliant look.
And just a great finish there. Again, we spoke at the beginning of the broadcast about how we want to see Potts use her length and be aggressive, and that was an example of that.
Rochi nearly had the pocket pick, but foul will be committed. Looks like that will be on Toviano, coming across with the hands. That's now the 6th Caps player with 3 personal fouls.
And she's trying to be aggressive, jumping out, and showing on that screen coverage. Just got to keep the hands out and try and take a hit through the chest if there's going to be one. Otherwise, force her back over the screen, back towards the guard.
Carly Ernst, shot clock winding down. Had to get the look away. Quick for the Caps here. No one went over the backboard by Diebel. Be a violation, so it'll be Southside ball to bring it back in from the baseline. Cole to get busy. Now driving underneath. Rochi didn't quite finish. Melbourne goes back the other way, drops it off to Tofiano. A great little pass underneath.
A beautiful pass. I thought for sure she was going to take the layup, but then was able to just drop that off nicely for a wide open layup.
Rochi, Hillman. Collier just stepping away, giving Hillman a little bit of room. Cole, mobbed, but then down to Hillman. Collier stepped up to play some help D, but Hillman just rolled to the basket and found a nice two.
And a great job to find that against the trap, but the Caps have really got to do a better job of, you know, if they're going to send 2 to the on-ball screen or any type of coverage, they've got to play off the ball there and help each other out rather than just staying at home on their own players.
Flyers ball here. Hillman heads off, Burrows, back to Hillman. Hillman underneah, drawing the foul that time. Will go to the line for 2.
You can see an example there. They trapped that on-ball screen, and then the tagger or the catcher that was on split line was way too late coming across. if they can come across a little bit earlier, now all of a sudden they're getting steals. So Potch just a little bit late there, just hugging Beck Cole a little bit too much. But I also understand why, but especially after the 3 Beck Cole hit before.
Megan Huswaite down on the sideline.
Well, the crowd is in raptures here at the State Basketball Centre because with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the game, Manuela Potch, has been subbed into the game, and she's gone straight to her sister, Nadio. They're getting into it already. I spoke to Manny before the...
Yeah, definitely a great battle between the two sisters. D-ball pulling up from the elbow. Not quite there. And of course, this is in the heartland of the Southside Flyers. Both of them representing Dandenong at the NBL 1 level and Dandenong Juniors. So they'll have plenty of fans in the house. Rochi tried. Potch almost offhand. It's going to be fly ball. You hear that crowd just continuing to cheer, even for an almost touch. They're in the house for the Potches. Great to see them going head-to-head as well. Melbourne will pick it up here. Pulls up for 3 in transition. That didn't drop. And that foul is going to be on Potch, and that's going to be too many, I'm afraid. So the dream matchup, we've been robbed.
Yeah, we have. We thought we had 2 minutes of it.
Potch off the floor with 5 personal fouls. Ends her evening early. 6 points, 2 from 6 from the field.
Listen to the crowd if this free throw goes in.
Basket nailed. What a handy way to give away your 5th foul for your sister to send it to the line in the bonus. And both of those go in. Well, technically, at the dinner table, she can say, I scored 2 on you. Here's Hobart. Bauer, off ball here. That's going to be against Hobart.
And the Caps just need to get back to a little bit of just their standards, and they're just getting a little bit loose with things. They've just got to tighten back up. Yes, the game is out of reach, but they need to, start preparing for their next games and what they can do. And they don't want to creep in some bad habits just because of things like frustration or the fact that the game is over.
Hobart underneath scoring with a great lane, left-handed finish. Chantal Hobart's one for me that I'm really excited to see what she can do at this level. She's such an athletic talent, Zoe.
Yeah, I think she'll be big in this league.
Potch underneath.
I think she's got a lot to offer, and I think each game she's just getting better and better.
We go the other end. One no good. Jefferson. It's her first minutes in this term as well. Down to Potch with 4 points in this one. Cole. Up with it. Cole wearing the contact, and somehow it goes in. Classic Beck Cole. This game's really opened up in the last 30 seconds or so. Hobart, 3. And we've got a timeout. I think coaches want to get a bit of structure back into this one. No, we continue play. I thought it was a timeout. It was a subs. Apologies. Hillman checking out the game. Body language there. I thought we were headed to a timeout. Of course, Burrows on the floor. Hand off to Young. Potch from 3. No good. Size of the crowd. Melbourne over the top. Here's Hobart. Tried to thread that pass. Not successful. Deeble didn't quite continue the cut.
I did like to see them though start to explore that back cut option and trying to make that pass. I think that's something that will be good for the Caps moving forward in the season.
Here's Young. Looking to go the way. Into Potch in the corner. That one no good. Here's Melbourne. 18 seconds left in this one. Melbourne driving. denied. And the Southside flyer ball with 11 on the clock. And again, the Caps giving away a lot of points. The Flyers up to 95 in this one. Full attempt on the clock, and it's home to put the icing on the cake. Burrows makes it 98, and that's it. It's the Southside Flyers 98, the UC Caps 77. Tough outing for the Caps, again giving away almost 100. Didn't do a lot of scoring of their own, only 77. It was a tough night at the office. But the Flyers make the State Basketball Centre a fortress. They're 2-2 from state. Tough task for this Caps team, Zoe. Can they bounce back from this?
They can. They are a young group. They know this going in, and they know they're going to have moments where they're up and they're down. They'll bounce back from this, and they will get their win.
Megan Husway down on the sideline with Naz Hillman.
Well, Naz, 2 wins on the trot now for the Southside Flyers. What was the most impressive part of today's team performance?
I think locking down on defense. That's something that we've really struggled with a little bit in those first 2 games, and we want to continue to build on it. This is a young team, Canberra, who wants to push the pace, wants to get the ball in the basket, and I think we did a great job of holding them under their averages.
We are so happy to have you back in the league, and thrilled that you followed Christy Harrower, your assistant from last year, to the Flyers. You got so much out of the recent WNBA season with Atlanta. Do you feel like you're playing with momentum? Because you are in your MVP era here in the WNBL.
I think I am feeding off that momentum, but I honestly think that it started here last year, being in the WNBL, really building my confidence, and taking that into the W season, and now I'm back in the WNBL, and I feel like my teammates have helped me, and my coaches have helped me continue to build off of it.
Including Paul Goris. It was good to see him and give him a hug before. Great clash coming up next Sunday against Bendigo Spirit, who are top of the table and undefeated, and you'll go head-to-head with Triple Olympian Mariana Tolo, so I'm sure you're looking forward to that matchup.
I am. They're a great team. Watched that game last night. They have some ballers on that squad, but we're up for the challenge. We're super excited about it. Want to continue with our defensive strides, and it'll be a great matchup. I hope everybody's watching it.
Oh, they will be watching. Naz Hillman in full flight for another WNBL season. Well done today.
Thank you.
Well, it was great to see Naz Hillman in full flight this afternoon. It was the Cats who were in full flight. Koenig, Hillman, Cole, they were all there, all the stars. Let's have a look at some of the highlights in the game. That was Jade Melbourne, though, impressive tonight. Great on the defensive end and the offensive end. But as a whole, what did you think of this one, Zoe?
I just think it was a tale of a very young team versus a very experienced team. And when the Flyers needed to take advantage of opportunities, they did, and the Caps just weren't quite able to get that done. But I think once they grow together as a group, the Caps, they will start to see those moments where they need to really step up and take their opportunities start to really come to fruition.
Yeah, certainly, indeed. But it was, in the end, it was the Flyers who were just too good, winning 98-77. Round 3, it was, what a round it was. Geez, it's Sunday afternoon. I'm just catching my breath at the moment. As we see that one, great Sunday afternoon action. Let's have a look at some of the results from round 3. Of course, the Spirit, they're the story, I think. They had 2 wins this weekend. The Caps, unlucky. It was an unlucky weekend for them. And obviously Geelong getting their 2nd win in their maiden season. Brilliant to see.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, that's another group that's really starting to form and come together. So, you know, a couple of wins for them, and that they'll look to be looking to build on that as they go throughout the season. But you're right, the Spirit are just looking almost unstoppable.
Well, the WNBL action continues this week. Kicking us off on Wednesday, it's the Flames and the Lightning. That should be a great one. Obviously, the Caps have a double as well. They've got back-to-back doubles, which is going to be tough. They've got the Fire. It doesn't get any easier. And then they go all the way down to Geelong. That's a tough road trip. And, of course, the Lynx and the Flames. And Spirit taking on the Southside Flyers, which should be a great one. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We've loved having you along. Todd Morris and Zoe Carr, thank you once again, and good night.